Hi everyone, welcome to Coffee and Card at Home. So this is our final week using the Let's Set Sail stamp set and the Sailboat Punch. And we're not really using the stamp set too much today because we're using some nice kind of offcuts of DSP just to create these little boats. So I'll get started and show you how to create these cards. So you're going to need a standard C6 size card base, which is half of an A4 sheet, 14.8 centimetres, and then scored at 10.5 centimetres. And what we're going to do first of all is we're going to get our C stamped. So for that I'm using Pool Party, or you could use any other pale colour of ink, and I'm using the long stamp in the set to create my C. I'm going to be really kind of quite haphazard maybe with this, where we're just going to get some colour on, get bits layered up, and it just adds a bit of texture to the C. So we don't have to be too exact on this. You might just want your C to look like it's going up slightly at one end. So you've got sort of some waves going on, and then just fill in that gap there. So that's kind of pretty much it really, like I say, quite haphazard. And then just whilst I'm stamping, I'm going to take some Misty Moonlight and I'm going to stamp my sentiments. So I've got a strip of card here, which this measures 2.5 centimetres wide, and I'm using the sentiment that says "Hope it's your best day ever." And we're just going to ink that up and stamp that on there. And then I'm just going to cut that, and I'm just going to flag the end on it. So I'm just going to trim a little bit of my card off first, and then I'm going to cut halfway up. You could measure it if you want to, or do it by eye, and then go from the corner to the top of that line and the other corner to the top of that line, and then that is ready to stick on in a moment. So I'll put that to the side. I'll bring back my base, and we're going to now get our boat stuck on. So you'll see from my two that I did, I've got one that I've used Crumb Cake for the boats and one that I've used Early Espresso. They come out quite different, so it's really up to you what you prefer. I was just using some offcuts that I had of some card and things really. So these are in Crumb Cake as well, and I'm just going to lay them out where I want them to go. One thing to remember is that you need the flag to be pointing to the right hand side, and just bear in mind when you're over here that you need to have enough space for your sail to fit on, but you also might want it to look a bit like your boats are kind of overlapping one another. So I think I might go with that arrangement. And then you're just going to apply a very small amount of Tombow. It is a really small amount. So a little strip across the boat, and then some tiny dots just on the mast to hold it down. And then just carefully press that down. Then the next one. So this is a little bit fiddly. I'm going to put that on. Those two are quite close together. And then the last one. There we go, and then that will dry off as you're working on the rest. Then this bit I'm not going to show you, but I've punched out some sails from some scraps of DSP that I had, just ones that I wanted to use up. I think these are from our last set of retired colours. So I've just punched out 3 different colours using that one, and 3 different colours using that one. And then I've kind of paired them up to be different colours. Now, to save a bit of time, I've also backed these with dimensionals already, and then we're going to put them onto our boat. So just be very careful to make sure that you've got them the right way round, because you do need to make sure that you've got the sails the right way around, otherwise your boats will look a little bit odd. So you've got the curved sail at the back there, and then for the next sail you have got the triangular one. Now you can see that these two are going to end up overlapping, so when I stick this one down, you may not need to have the dimensionals actually that I'm going to tuck behind. So you might need to just consider that before you actually stick them on, whether they will be overlapping. So the idea is kind of that they're looking like boats having a race, a bit like you kind of get in the Isle of Wight when they're racing, that kind of thing. And then finally, let's get these ones on. So I've just used a large dimensional and a small dimensional on each. That should be enough, but just bear in mind that obviously with it being DSP, it is more paper rather than cards, so they're just a little bit delicate. And then last sail on. There we go, and those are all stuck on. And I've tried to coordinate my colours a little bit, but I wanted a bit of variety. So you can see I've got a couple of pinks, a couple of browns, and yellow and a green. But if you wanted to, you could make them all matching. That would look nice too. So I'm just going to get my sentiment back. And again, this is going to be mounted with dimensionals. That I am going to just stick at the top in the corner. There we go. And then the last thing to do is I'm just going to pop some birds in that space there. These are from the stamp set itself, and I'm just using some Early Espresso just for those. Just make sure you've got them the right way around. And then just pop those there, and it just kind of finishes off the card really. And that's it. So actually quite a quick card to do. You could make quite a few of those if you just sort of got all your boat sails punched out in advance, and could be quite a nice one for Father's Day coming up, or as a male birthday card or something like that. Anyway, just a quick recap of what we've used. So we've used a basic white thick cardstock base, which is C6 size, that's half of an A4 sheet scored at 10.5 centimetres. Then the inks we've used are Pool Party and Misty, Moonlight and Early Espresso. And then we've used some scraps of DSP in any colours you want, and some Crumb Cake for the boats. And the stamp set we've used for the whole of this month is Let's Set Sail, that is so hard to say, and the little sailboat punch that goes with that. So next month we'll be starting on a new stamp set. And we will be kicking off with that straight away. Next week we'll be using the Happy Hedgehogs bundle, which I can't wait to use. So I hope you can join me then. Have a great week and enjoy the Jubilee celebrations at the end of the week too. All right, take care. Bye.